Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, I want to talk about CRMs, specifically the apps. What is CRM? It's your customer relationship management programs. And when it comes to CRM, when it comes to customer relation management, let's think about that for a sec. You're out there maybe on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or out there via email, however it is that you bring all the folks into your fold to start creating that know, like, and trust. Once you start connecting with people, you have to have someplace to put them. So you want to collect their emails, collect their information so that you can nurture the relationships. And that's what CRM is all about. Now, if you are just starting out, maybe you're a new coach or consultant, maybe you've been in business for a short time and you're kind of the solopreneur. So you're doing most of the stuff by yourself. You haven't quite yet got into that CEO chair where you have somebody else doing all this marketing stuff. You're really conscious about the money that you're spending, right? And when it comes to CRMs, it's one of those critical pieces that needs to be in your arsenal of tools as a business owner. So it basically is a software program. CRM is that customer relationship management program that allows you to capture emails, names, addresses, phone numbers. It can capture all kinds of different stuff. And for the most part, many people use it to be able to nurture via email. Now, there's all kinds of other things that you can do with CRMs as well. So I just want to go over 10 different um, 10 different thoughts, things to consider when looking for a CRM for your business. Now, the first thing to consider is, what are your business needs? Depending on what you do, your needs may be different. And there's so many, there's literally hundreds of different, maybe even thousands of different CRM programs that are out there that have all kinds of bells and whistles. And some of them are really cheap, some of them are really expensive. And it really all depends on, what do you need? So the first thing to do is to assess your business needs. What do you need out of a customer relationship management program? Are you just capturing emails and maybe sending out a weekly email or a weekly newsletter? Or do you need to create some kind of an automation because you have a lead magnet, and once somebody downloads your lead magnet, you want to have a series of emails that go out that nurture the relationship after the download? There's all kinds of different ways to use your CRM. So the first thing to do is to sit and think, how are you going to use your CRM? What do you need it for? What is its main purpose? So that's number one. And then on the second one, you want it to be scalable. So think about where you are in your business right now. So right now, you might just need it for shooting out a few emails and nurturing those relationships that you're building, right? Later on, you may need more things in your CRM. There are CRMs that are all encompassing. They do landing pages. They have those big automations. They do funnels. I don't actually do funnels. I don't like the word funnels. You hear about them all the time. However, the email funnels that funnel people in and funnel them into your products and services, there's ones out there that are just built for doing that. There's all kinds of different ones out there. So think of, where are you right now? Right now, you might just be collecting emails. As you grow, as you scale and grow, you want to have that program, that app, grow with you. So thinking future, what are your needs going in the future for what you have? So you've got the business needs. Now think future. Is it scalable? Is it only going to be you using the program? Right now, if you're a new coach or consultant or haven't been in business all that long and you're still working on building the business up, it may be you doing everything. As you move yourself into that CEO chair, you might hire somebody else to do it for you. They will need access to the program. So isn't an app that will allow you to have other people come in and manage it without pretending to be you? So there's some scalability things that you want to take a look at. Now, number 3 is ease of use. Again, there's hundreds of them out there. I am an ex-techie. I have been in the tech business Oh, geez, for well over 35 years and spent a long time in tech starting out with programming. So when it comes to these kind of apps, I'm kind of maybe a little too analytical because I'm thinking programmer mind. Okay, I know from a programming standpoint, here's what I want it to do. I can do this, 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 this. And when you start thinking about all the things that it can do, there's this thing called the GUI interface. If you remember computer stuff from, we'll go back to the 80s and 90s. They talked about the GUI interface. It was the graphic user interface. And that was what it was called, the GUI, that allowed the average person to go in and really easily be able to do what they needed to do instead of like trying to be a hardcore programmer, right? So when you think about some of these apps, there are some apps that I've recently looked at that even I'm looking at with my ex programmer brain going, wow, this is like super complicated. And if I'm the average person who doesn't have a technical background, there is no way I'm going to understand this without doing, hours and hours of training and probably messaging support every 5 minutes. So when you're looking at the programs that are out there, one of the things to consider is the ease of use. Make sure you check around. And then the next one is the integration. So when we talk about integration, it's integrating with other apps. So does it integrate with stuff like maybe your payment processing? Maybe if you're using Stripe or PayPal or Venmo or something to bring payments in, will it mesh with that? There's hundreds and hundreds, thousands of apps that are out there. Most of the good CRM programs, the applications that are out there will integrate with different apps. So think about the other apps that you're using. And again, bouncing back to the scalability, think about what apps you might need in the future. You might not have a payment processing system right now. You may just be, taking payments a different way. However, in the future, what will you need? So check into what are the integrated apps that the program is going to use, that the application allows in, because that could make a big difference. And then there's the mobile access. So in our mobile world, can you use it? If you need to be out and about, whether it's on a pad or on your phone, whatever it is, can you access what you need to access from anywhere, anytime? So especially as a solopreneur, or even if you have, one or two people on your staff, or maybe you have a virtual assistant or something like that, if you're a smaller company, then you still want to have access to this whenever you need access to it. So think about the mobile access for you and for your users. And what I mean by that is, if you're using it as a CRM that's going to, what most people do with their CRMs is send out email campaigns, is it creating email campaigns that people can read on their phones? Because you know what? This is where people read most of their stuff on the internet, whether it's Facebook, your email, and everything else. A lot of people are right on here. So when you create those email campaigns, are they readable? Is it set for mobile access? Now, the next thing is you want to think about, and it's kind of a big one, it's security. So the data security. When you think about your customer relationship management, you can have some sensitive information in there. You might have people's names and addresses and telephone numbers, and you want to make sure that information is protected. So when you're picking out of the hundreds and thousands of CRM apps that are out there, be considerate of the data security. Check and see what their data security policies are. That is an important thing for both you and for your potential clients and your clients that are all in that CRM system. The next one is analytics and reporting. So when you think about sending out an email campaign, you want to kind of know, well, how many people have opened that email? How many people have read it? How many people deleted it? How many people subscribed this week to my email list? How many people unsubscribed to my email list? This is important information. So when you're looking at that CRM, you want to make sure that that information is available to you so that you can, check it out and check out the analytics and maybe do some reporting to help you get better at what you're doing. Maybe if you have an email series that's going out, and you think it's a fabulous series that went out, and you send it out to a few hundred people that are in your list, and like nobody opens it. You want to know that, right? Because then you can go in and you can maybe modify it a little bit, because if nobody's opening up your emails, then chances are pretty good it's maybe not the right headline, maybe not the right information, maybe it's not the right audience. There's a whole bunch of different things that can be. And without seeing those analytics, you don't know if anybody's actually looking at it. So that's an important piece as well. The next one is customization. So can you customize what you're creating? Some of the, we'll call them the cheaper, lower end CRMs that are out there that are great to start with, some of those are very limited as to what you can customize. And some of those, there's actually free ones out there, and there's certain things that you can't customize at all because, well, they're free. So stuff like taking that vendor's logo off of your emails or your landing page or whatever it is that you're creating with the CRM. If it's the free version, chances are there's not a lot of customization that can be done. So again, going back to your business needs, what do you need right now in your business? And does that CRM that you're looking at, will it allow you to do what it is that you want to do now and in the future? Now, the next thing is the customer support. Sometime or other, you're going to need to contact customer support. Do your research. If you do research on a CRM and you find that people are constantly complaining that they can't get customer support when they need it, red flag. Don't go there, because at some point or other, you're going to need some customer support. So check out what their customer support is like. Are they easy to get a hold to? Are you getting a live person? Is there a live chat? Is there just a knowledge base online where you have to go and find your own information? What is it that they have? Do they have training videos to help you get set up and get started and to move along when you need to do other things and you start moving into different things within the application? What is it that they have for support out there? And then last but not least is the pricing. Again, there's ones that you can get for free. And there's ones that cost a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, we're talking thousands. And those ones are for the bigger companies. Lots of companies use CRMs. Almost every company uses CRM. So when you think of those big companies, if you've ever worked in corporate world, you might have heard of Salesforce or some of these bigger ones with Oracle and all these big name companies that have these huge CRM systems that are kind of crazy and customizable. There's all kinds of things that you can do with them. They're great if you're a big company. If you're one of the smaller guys or even a medium area, you're going to go with the more standard ones. So of the things to consider, I'm going to go through that list. There's 10 of them altogether. It's what are the business needs, scalability, ease of use, integration with the other apps, mobile access, data security, analytics and reporting, the customization, customer support, and then the pricing. And now here's 10 CRMs that you may want to consider. Again, go out and shop around, do your research. If you have other colleagues who are doing what you do, most of us who are coaches and consultants, we kind of hang with other coaches and consultants. Those of us who have been coaches and consultants for a while know that every coach needs a coach, and we know a lot of them. And so what I do when I'm researching is I look at the initial stuff because I've got that techie background, so I can look at what I need. Not everybody has that. Even though I do have that, then I go out and I ask around. And I ask other people, what are you using? Where are you using it? What are its best features? Why would you recommend this product to me? And I get other people's thoughts for what they're doing. So go out and do your research. So one of the ones that's out there is ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is what I use currently. And it's, I guess for a solopreneur, I'll call it, it's still low priced. It's not that expensive. I pay an annual, and it's well under $1,000 annually. There's some that, again, those higher end ones, it could be over $1,000 a month. So I pay not too much. However, it incorporates a whole bunch of different things for me. So I know this one inside and out because I use it every day. It allows me to do automations. It allows me to send emails out. It allows me all the analytics. It allows all the integration. Everything that I need for my business, ActiveCampaign does for me. So it's one you might want to check out and consider. Another one is called Keep, Keap. Now that's another one that has all kinds of different bells and whistles to it, and it's also very cost effective. From there, MailChimp. I actually started with MailChimp. I want to say, I don't know what it is now, so look it up if you want to check it out. MailChimp, when I started using it, was like $14 a month. And for $14 a month, I said, let's do this. I used a lot of these programs have a low, medium, and a high, by the way. I used the lower end, which was like $14 a month, and it had everything that I needed. And a feature that I didn't mention in those 10 is it's kind of part of scalability. So I started with MailChimp, and then I moved to ActiveCampaign. In MailChimp, I was able to export all of my email addresses and information, all of my customer information that I had in MailChimp. There was an export that I could use to take all the information out of there and put it into the other one when I upgraded to my ActiveCampaign. So that's another feature you might want to check out is if I'm using one of these lower end ones right now because that's what my needs are, that's what my budget is, then does it have what I need to move into the next one? Will it allow me to export the information out once I shift to a higher end as I grow my business? That's another thing to consider. So MailChimp's one of those. Constant Contact. A lot of folks use Constant Contact. It's great for doing newsletters and that kind of thing. You might see people that send Constant Contact newsletters all the time. There's all kinds of information there. One of the features of all of these email programs is that it's a requirement. If you don't want to be a spammer, you want to make sure you have that unsubscribe at the bottom of your email so people can unsubscribe to your list. That's kind of one of those quirky things out there on the internet. Don't get caught not having an unsubscribe because that could actually get you blacklisted. So all of these programs that I'm talking about, they fill all that in. Constant Contact's no exception. I get Constant Contact newsletters from a bunch of different people that I know on all different areas. A lot of health and wellness folks will use Constant Contact because it's great for sending out those newsletters to people. Another one to use is Zoho, Zoho. And that one, again, is a cost-effective one, and it has all kinds of different bells and whistles. Again, go out and check all of the different bells and whistles that you have. There's a lot of comparison charts out there. So if you Google some of these and you just say, give me the latest and greatest top 10 CRM programs that are out there and compare them, you'll find all kinds of different charts out there that compare and contrast what they have. So that is also a good thing to do if you're out there looking for a CRM program. Another one is HubSpot. That's HubSpot. It's the hub. Everything goes in there. All your customer information, your landing pages, everything that you need is right inside of there. So that's another one. That one could be a little bit more pricey. It depends on the package that you purchase. So another one that I've recently checked out, it's called Monday Sales. And I actually found it to be kind of cool. And if I wasn't using ActiveCampaign, I may have actually tried it out. It has a lot of different features, and it is really super easy to use. I watched a couple of their videos on how to use their app, and I was like, wow, this is really super simple. So if you're sitting there going, I am not techie, I never want to be techie, it is not my thing, you might want to check out Monday Sales. It might be one that works for you. The next one, we're moving kind of up as far as pricing is concerned, is one called Kartra. Now, I used Kartra in the past as well. I used it actually in a collaboration with a coach that I had in the past. And so for that reason, I got it at a better price because there was a bunch of us all together because it was going through my third party who was my coach, who had other coaches using the same application. If you buy it individually, it can be a little bit more pricey. However, it does have lots of bells and whistles. You can create web pages, you can create landing pages, you can create all kinds of different things. You can there's a membership site in there. There's a built-in membership site. So if you have a program that you're selling to your clients, you can actually put it into Kartra and have a membership site where people log into the membership site. So there's lots of bells and whistles inside of Kartra above and beyond just collecting emails and sending out email lists. It does get a little bit more pricey. And I will say, even for me as a techie, I found Kartra a little more difficult to navigate. I spent some quality time when I was using it trying to figure out where to do certain things. And I'm a techie person, so it usually doesn't take me long. Nothing against Kartra. It works for a lot of people. I know some folks who use it and it works really well for them. For me, it just wasn't my jam. So again, check it out because it depends on who you are and what background you have, if you're techie, not techie, that kind of thing too. The next one on my list is Kajabi. Now, Kajabi is a big one. It can also be an expensive one. I think one of the main ones is like a $159 a month, $159 a month. So it can be a little pricey, especially if you're starting out. Again, it's got a ton of bells and whistles. So look at those bells and whistles. So if you have a program that is separate, that's doing a membership site, and then you have a different one that's doing your CRM with emails and automations and that kind of the funnels, that kind of thing. And then you have another one that is doing all kinds of little pieces for client stuff for them to come in, websites, the landing pages, all that kind of thing. If you have all these different places that you're spending money on, one thing to do is to stop and consider, what am I spending on all of that? Is the $159 a month for Kajabi, who does all of that in one app, worth moving it into? And that way you have one place to go instead of going to all these different apps. So again, business needs, scalability, look into that. So while it might be look a little bit more expensive, when you do the math with all the other stuff that you may be using, it might actually be more cost effective. You don't know until you check it out. And then last but not least, Salesforce. Salesforce does have a smaller version for solopreneurs and small companies. So it is a higher end one. And the thing about Salesforce is, back in my tech days, I actually used to install Salesforce servers back in the day when they did that and everything wasn't online like it is today. And what I learned about Salesforce at that time when I used to install it is that there are a ton of customization features inside of it. So if you're not techie and if you don't have people who are there to take care of that stuff for you, that might not be the way to go. However, again, check it out. Do your research. Do your homework. There's so many apps out there. And before we wrap this up, I do want to say that with the advent of AI, all this artificial intelligence, you've heard it, you can't get away from it anymore. It's everywhere, right? All of these apps are starting to integrate AI into them. I literally just got emails last week from ActiveCampaign. They just implemented their AI piece to their software so that it will help you automate those automations. It'll actually help you create them. It'll help you create emails. It will help you create the landing pages. It will help you do all the stuff that you want to do using AI. So that's another thing to start considering. As the landscape continues to change, this stuff all updates. So depending on where you are in business today, stop, think about your business needs, think about the scalability. Where are you right now? What are your needs? What is your budget? And then go from there. Do your research. Most importantly, ask others who are doing what you do. What do they use? Why do they use it? What is the features that drew them to use that app above other ones? If they had to do it again, would they pick the same app? You'd be surprised some of the answers you get. Some people are just, they don't want to go through all the trouble of moving to a new app. And so they're with an app that they just say, I'm just going to stay here just because I'm used to it. And right now I just don't have the cycles to go and upgrade to a different application. So do your homework, do your research. And when it comes to CRM, your customer relationship management program, remember, this is what it's all about. This is one of the key applications for your business. If you can't stay in touch with all of these prospects, all these leads, all these people, whether they're cold, warm, or hot contacts, if you can't stay in touch with them and nurture those relationships, you can't build your business. That's what it's all about. It's about nurturing those relationships, and you need to have a CRM in place in order to be able to do that. So, that being said, I'm actually making an offer this week for something free. Free, no bells, no whistles, no there's no holds barred. It's no strings attached. If you are at a place where you're looking for a CRM and you have no clue what to do, I am willing to sit with you for 15 minutes and just go through. I can quickly assess based on what you tell me your business needs are. I can quickly assess and make recommendations and give you 3 recommendations so that you can then at least get started going out and figuring out which one works best for you and your budget. So I will drop in a link underneath this to set up a 15-minute free call, no strings attached, if you want to review your current CRM or decide which one you should pick based on where you are in business right now. That's what I've got for you this week. We will see you next Tuesday on Tips and Tricks Tuesday.